Amen.
I don't think so.
Lo alenu lo alechem. In case a person feels a little bit doubt of danger because of the announcements that they make, you're allowed to call the police.
On Shabbat.
Call in using the phone. It's LED phone. Therefore, the restrictions are much less than real fire or real things are getting hot. If you're able to do it b'shinui, it'll be better. Or through a goy, to do it even better.
Would it be better to say, like, I don't know, some people have the Siri on their phone. I don't know, like, some, hey Siri, like, call the police.
Telling Siri to call is exactly the same as you are doing the action yourself. That's what, try to do it with the back of your hand.
What?
It's called shinui.
No, yeah, but why wouldn't that
And
be Shinui?
turning on the LED, it's second the Rabbanan. For a big mitzvah, it's already allowed. For a big need, even it's allowed. How much more so if it's for Safek Pikuach Nefesh, it should be allowed.
How about this thing I heard in?
That's again, Rabotai, only because of the situation. That's not for every Shabbat. But only this Shabbat because of the situation that they are making propaganda about. Voima. Yeah.
I heard in Eretz Israel they said for the people to keep the TVs on during Shabbat, and it's not going to be a problem.
Could be, yeah.
And even the phones, they should have the phones active.
Эти арабы announcement jihad хотят сделать проблемы, не дай бог. Ло алину ло алейхим. Охрана есть, but you never know. You never know. The, okay, we are continuing. We left off on page 20. Who remembers?
Probably going to say Shabbat.
22?
I said shakol on the fish.
Which sefer?
We're learning Chazon Ovadia in English. I summarized it and translated it in English. So they have the file.
Send it to me?
Okay, number 2. Number 3. Yeah, page 22, number 3. So we spoke about, can a person feed animals on Shabbat? Becho, can a person feed animals on Shabbat?
Yes.
Not his animals,
No, not his animal.
street animals.
No.
So we said that it's not a problem. It is allowed, but you cannot feed it closer to your hand. Поставить, и они покушают. But to go ahead and feed them, actually, we are afraid that you might, God forbid, trap them.
So really, that's the only reason?
Trapping.
So you could feed the belka like this, you throw belka? Or belka? you
Throw food and don't be next to it. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
What's it about?
Write it down.
Oh,
Scroll. Do we need to have an owner for the dog? So remember that Rabbi Yosef said that Rabbi Eliashiv holds that you supposed to have an owner for this dog. I'm reading from the file. Bechor, you have the file also. It's in English. Rabbi Eliashiv says only if the dog has a Jewish owner and there is an obligation to feed it, you can come to and act as his messenger, even without his consent, to feed the animal. But if it is a stray dog, this is not allowed to. However, Rabbi Avad Yosef says that the Shulchan Aruch says to put food in front of the birds or bees at hand's length away is fine to do, because there is no fear that you will catch them, because it's further than your hand distance. And by the way, we learn from here that even though the birds and bees are ownerless, it is still allowed to give food even to a stray dog. So Rabbi Eliashiv said the only dog you're allowed to feed, if it's not your dog, if it's a dog that has an owner, because the owner, Jewish owner, obligated to feed him. So by you feeding the dog, you are a messenger, shaliach, for the owner. You're making him a favor, doing him a favor. But if there is no any owner, if there is no any owner, then it's an issue. That's Rabbi Eliashiv's opinion. Elishai, Eliashiv. Eliashiv. Rahmat. Rabbi Eliashiv? Yeah, it was Gaon Gadol. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef used to sit with him in bedding together.
Empty. All few rooms, go and everything like this. Empty.
Empty, yeah.
All chair. You would not sit on that chair.
They never care about Olam Hazeh. Never. That's the high level tzaddikim. They and the wives got used to a level of lifestyle, the most simple possible on planet Earth. If a person can get to such a level, kol hakavod. There is nothing to worry about.
They had so much.
There's nothing to worry. They worry about Torah. They don't worry about Olam Hazeh. Oh, there's a leak in the roof. Oh, leak in the roof.
We will be depressed. We will be depressed.
Oh, there is the paint. It was not done. When is the paint already? We're gonna fix the paint already. What's gonna be with the new floors, with the new tile? There is a new system came out. Maybe we should install it in our house. They don't have those machshavot.
The couch looks old.
Huh? The couch looks old. Doesn't? Anyway, we're gonna leave this world soon. What's the point?
Nah.
Okay. It's not only Bazan, Yaakov John. It's not true. Glaza, it's not true, not true. No, I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you. When your wife will not cook the way you would like to, you will complain. Not you. Okay, I'm talking about other people. So whenever you show her that the Olam Hazeh is important to you, for things that are important to you, your car, the cleanliness of the house, how she looks to you, how she dresses up for you, how she talks to you. Olam Hazeh is important to you. So whenever you show Olam Hazeh is important to you, so she says, whatever it's important to you in your way, it's okay. Why whenever things important to you in my way, it's not okay? That's you have to make the cheshbon. In the morning, am I coming every morning shaharit and praying and minyan and learning Torah or no? In the evening, am I coming every single evening for the prayers and for the learning Torah studies or no? If those things that they are spiritual start points of the day and the end point of the day are not there for you, you say, Rabbi, I have a meeting, Rabbi, I have a business, Rabbi, I have this, Rabbi, I have that. Seder, you have. So what do you show? Example, that Olam Hazeh is number one. If I have time, I come. Rabbi, you know me. If I have time, I come. Know how many times I get that line? 3 billion times. If Rabbi, you know me. If I able, I'll come. But what about the rest of the week? Or the other times that you cannot? So the same thing is your wife. Listen, if I be happy with a cheaper system, I'll buy the cheaper system. But I'm not happy with the cheaper system. I'm happy with the lifestyle of this one. So before we blame her, that she opens her eyes to us, and she is telling us to buy these old expensive things, we have to look at ourselves. Am I coming out of work a little bit earlier? You're about to close your store and a client walks in. Can you say, I'm sorry, we closed? Yeah. Because if you're going to accept that client now, you're going to come late to the shiur. You're going to come late to the mincha arvit. You're going to come late to shacharit. Do you feel that Hashem is going to send you this $20, $30, $50, $100 you're going to make on him in a different way? Or no? What do you feel? So if you does not face the taste of Olam Hazeh versus Olam Haba, why expect her to win the test? She also wants Olam Hazeh. You have money, buy, make it. You don't have money, borrow it. Like your brother did, like your cousin did, like my cousins did. Why not? Anyway, you don't care about Olam Haba so much. You go, Shabbat or Shabbat, you go like this. Abolish. Takash. For you, Olam Haba is not priority. For you, Olam Hazeh is priority. So for your comfort, it's okay. For my comfort, it's not okay. Ты дома не находишься, правильно? I'm at home all the time. I want to make the house look good, comfortable. Условия.
What's wrong with this?
Nothing wrong. No, he's saying right. It's all about the wife. It's all because of the wife.
בעולם הזה живו.
Huh? נכון. You live עולם הזה. No, he asked how Rabbi Eliashiv lived in such a simple house. He's the top Ashkenazi leader in the world. Millions of dollars will be thrown on him. Millions. How did he sit in such a cheap house?
Что люди скажут?
Who cares about Luti?
He didn't care about the Ramazan.
The answer is because he showed example himself that Olam Hazeh is not the main thing in life. Olam Haba is the main thing in life. How do I pray Shacharit? How do I to learn Torah? How do I do Chesed with others? How do I work on my midot? That's what's important. Understand?
Okay, great, you can do it, but if you have opportunity to do that as well, do it as well. What's the problem?
Do what as well?
Olam Hazeh, Olam Haba, everything. You can do everything.
Yeah. Your goal is Olam Haba. If Olam Hazeh is by the way, so by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, how you differentiate?
The goal is Olam Haba. How do I get myself better person? How do I pray better way? How do I know what to do, what not to do in the better way? That's my goal. If through this I'll be able to also make nice Olam Hazeh, but that's not the goal. Understand? Means that if there'll be a question of what do I have to settle, what I have to let go, I'm going to let go Olam Hazeh versus Olam Haba. Olam Haba is number one. Olam Hazeh, if possible, I'll do it. If not, not. That's a Gemara says Masechet Brachot. Give us a Gemara Masechet Brachot. Afei. Brachot behind you, not too far from you over there. Ari John, Masechet Brachot. Afei Shmor Yatam.
English, что?
English, Ibrit, na Ibrit. Brachot. Brachot v'odot. Gemara says over there, Rabbi Yochanan came to visit Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer was crying, sitting in a dark room. Said Rabbi Yochanan to Rabbi Eliezer, why are you crying? If you're crying because you didn't learn a lot of Torah, Yaakov, he's telling you why you're crying. Smarita berachot, ni bechorot, berachot. No, some people get confused. Bechorot is confusing the people. Why are you crying? Says the Gemara. Here, open for you. 6. This in our school, you know, it's 1,000 pages for the same page. It's open in Vav. It's in Hey. Gemara says here. Rabbi Eliezer halash. Rabbi Eliezer was sick. Ale gabe Rabbi Yochanan. Came Rabbi Yochanan. Haza dehabe kagani bebayit afel. He sees him. He's sleeping in the dark room. Dark. Sipsio. Galele darev nafal noora. He opened his arm, his sleeve, and a big light came out of his arm, and the whole room was full of light. Bukhari calls it Nuri Shechino. The light of Shechina is with this person, Rabbi Yochanan. They have a kabachi, Rabbi Eliezer, and he sees him now that he's crying. He's sitting quietly and crying. Amar le, my kabachit, why are you crying? If because you cannot remember the Torah, you cannot study as much Torah as you wanted to. Shaninu, a person is able to study a lot, the second one is able to study less. The main idea is where is your heart directed to? Means to say you're not studying because of Olam Hazeh achievements, or not studying because I tried to study, but I needed to help this guy, I needed to help that woman, I needed to help this neighbor, I needed to help this situation. So I'm doing things for Hashem. So what can I do? Not everybody get the mind, the concentration, their memory, the talent to learn. So he says, if that's the reason you're crying, you should not have cried because of that. Because God doesn't count pages of Gemarot that you do. God counts where is your heart directed. Did you do it for my name or did you do it for your name? Chesed, Tfilah, Torah. What's the reason you're doing all this? To increase your name or to increase my name? So said, if the reason because you didn't learn a lot of Torah, that's the reason you cry, you should not cry. Maybe, okay, Olam Haba matters, Olam Torah, it's not important. What about Olam Hazeh? Maybe you're crying because of Olam Hazeh, huh? This kind of answers to your question. tells him, "Ve'im mishum mezone," if you are crying because of parnasah of olam hazeh, lo kol adam zoche leshte shulchanot. Not every person is granted, rewarded to be achieving spirituality and physicality. Two tables, good table on olam hazeh and good table in olam haba. Not everybody get it. It's either you get good table by olam haba and not such a good one in olam hazeh, or sometimes the other way around. You get good table olam hazeh, but olam haba is not very good. So you should not cry because your financial level and your spiritual gain are not very good.
Really?
Tells him you should not cry. So he says, so why are you crying? He says, I'm not crying, not for this, not for that. So why are you crying? He says, I'm crying for such a beautiful person like you. One day is going to go underground. He saw how this, when I read this Gemara, I was saying, unbelievable, how Rabbi Eliezer was mamash Breslever. No, Rabbi Eliezer was Breslev. Look, he sees the positive in Rabbi Yohanan, and because of that, he's crying. See how good person Rabbi Yohanan is, and the Shal Ketako Harosh Chilavik is going to go under the ground. One day, he's going to go on the ground. Says, for this reason, I am crying. But by the way, we learn from their conversations, the big people that they are kind of talking over here. By the way, what we learn from the conversation? That not every person, Bechor, get the zechut of achieving I olam hazeh chara u'shava, I olam haba chara u'shava. Not everybody get that zechut. There's few people that got that kavod to have financially wealthy in olam hazeh and also high achievements of olam haba. But not everybody get it. Rabbi Akiva eventually did. Eventually did. At the beginning it was poor. There was no even a mattress to sleep on. If you remember the story. That was Rabbi Akiva's beginning. And Gemara says, the Gemara says, guarantees, Gemara says, whoever guaranteed will study Torah, fulfill mitzvot when he's poor. He will not say, I'm poor, how can I learn Torah? How can I fulfill mitzvot? Guarantee to him that he will fulfill the Torah. He fulfill the mitzvot when he'll be rich. Kol HaMekayim Sofo Torah Me'oni, Sofo, guarantee you will be making the Torah and the mitzvot Me'osher, from being Ashir. But this is a patience. You gotta put patience to it, towards it. That doesn't happen overnight. The Radbaz, you know how multi-billionaire he was, not millionaire, billionaire, Radbaz. He lived over 100 years old. We're talking about 500 years ago. To live this ages back in the day.
It's like today, up to 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah, he lived more than 100.
No medicine, no.
Was the biggest rabbi in the world. Rabbi Yosef Karo gave him respect. They were together in Bedin. Radbaz signed first in Gitin, in laws and whatever it is, decisions of Bedin, and then Rabbi Yosef Karo signed under. Means whoever signs first was the most respectful one. And he was Rosh Yeshiva. One of his biggest students was Arizal, and he was multi-billionaire.
It's the guy that had the ships?
Yeah. The Radbaz. So you see that not everybody gets such a bakol mikol kol, says the Gemara. Certain people have the mazal for it, certain people have the mazal for either one of it. So which one is the one you should choose? Going on? Olam haba matters. Rabbi, the client David Sof in your meeting is. I want to show him a watch, I want to show him a bracelet, I want to show him whatever, different type of merchandise, I want to sell him, offer him a house, apartment. Yoni Khalfesh, 9 o'clock is your shiur. Don't give up on your shiur for this client. Because this client will come and go. This shiur, 9 o'clock, will not come and go. It's finished, you lost it. That's not coming back. But that's how important it is not to miss out on shiurim. And make sure that Olam Haba is your priority in life. Olam Haba matters. Not Black Lives Matters only. Bukhara life matters, huh? Very good. Bechoraka. With Samnoi. It looks like you pre-gatav Tzisna Pesach. I don't know. טוב.
Pesach na Lewis story.
את החנוכה חי. The Gemara says, number 4. Apples that fell on Shabbat. Or if a goy picked them, or he hunted on Shabbat and brought them to you. Is it muktzeh? Hunted.
Net?
No, I'm adding hunted and animal. Apples fell from the tree. Chudash b'chudash chalti dak.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Ihr seid Robert.
You don't touch. Goy brings to you.
You're not allowed to eat.
Thank you, Papa. I'm sorry, Papa. We're walking into the wrong closet.
Can you take it from him or no?
No,
You're not eating now.
no.
He can put it for you, no?
Whenever one person moved to his house, his neighbor wanted to show him kavod. He met him first time, Shabbat. He goes to his tree, chick. He brings to him few fruits from his backyard, tasty fruits. Can he receive those fruits on Shabbat or no?
No.
Yeah.
He can leave it, but you don't touch it, no?
He gave it to you.
You can say, okay, can you put it on there?
הבעיה,
What do you do? Baruch Avraham.
I say, I'm sorry, Papa, today Shabbat.
the problem is לכתוב אותם, לא?
The goy detached it.
So, no, the problem in Shabbat is detached.
Detached, yeah.
So it wasn't done by you.
Right, it was not done by a goy.
המאכל עצמו כשר.
Right.
So you can eat it, no? I'm sorry.
No, it's
Can you eat it or no? Can you move it or no?
on Shabbat. It's not.
Hi, Prime John.
If you didn't tell to Goy,
You didn't tell
if
me.
you didn't tell nothing, Goy bring it to you.
You didn't say nothing to him.
did it for you.
Says halacha, when Shabbat came in, this apple was attached to the tree.
Yeah.
It remains muktzeh until the end of Shabbat. Goy brought it. The wind blew it. Chudash b'chudash chalti dak. Fachashnes.
העץ יום נרזת לסיבה. Can you enjoy?
This one is, when Shabbat came in, was it within your reach or no?
You didn't know.
What if you don't know?
So
Even if you don't know, it's not allowed.
Not
Safek derabanan lechumra.
Надо сказать, I'm sorry, Papa, приходи после 10.
Why?
The right-
Why? Because after Shabbat, it will be 100% allowed. So why should you take a risk?
What category Muktzeh was fallen?
Gufo. Aaron John.
The highest category.
Highest one.
So you can't even take it from him.
Nachon, cannot. Cannot even take it from him. Got it? Very good. Let's read number 4 answer. The Gemara says, don't feed stray dog. That was a side point, yeah. I read to you number 5 by mistake. Remember we said you should not feed stray dogs? Street dogs you should not feed, remember? Why? Not Shabbat, regular days.
You're gonna get used to it.
Because dogs have a character of brazenness. Brazen.
Привычка.
Nachal or nagli, whatever you say. That if,
Самые наглые животные.
yeah, if you feed him,
Да,
No?
да.
if you feed him oftenly,
Да.
he becomes sitting on your head. Means to say, feed me all the time from now. And a person will feel bad for him, for the dog, or will be feel threatened from the dog, and you constantly feed him. And he put on himself extra expense. Instead of learning more Torah, he is trying to cover expenses to feed dogs. That's why you should not feed dogs oftenly, says Rabbi. If once you throw food to him, it's no problem. And by the way, dogs also are very jealous, very jealous. Gotta be careful from them. There is the guy, lo alenu lo alechem, gave a dog, raised a dog, Aaron. After a while, it became big, he gave it to somebody. He got a small dog. A few months later, he comes to visit that relative, and the big dog is over there. This big dog sees him, jump on him, chewing his hand, biting his hand. Few places, catch кого взял. Да. Мне кинул гуфта, его взял. Другого собака взял. his hand became like this. לא עלינו, רפואה שלמה טוב. Why am I telling you this? To show you the logic, the character traits of the dog. חכמים so. How much psychology they knew even of the dogs. That's what they said, don't feed dogs, Aaron, on a constant basis. One time you saw, you can give. That's it.
Can you get a dog for security, for backyard?
Yeah, you can. It's not issue to get a dog. You're
What
allowed.
about people keeping
But
inside
try
the
not to
house?
keep it inside the house.
But people keeping
Try
inside
to
the
keep
house.
it outside the house, if possible. If it's impossible, he's sick, he's gonna cold, whatever.
Today a lot of puppies living inside the house.
So, what can you? It's not the best.
Kabbalistically not good.
Also on Shabbat, you cannot pick him up. Sometimes the people pick him up and play with him. Shabbat is there.
Use your dog.
Yeah.
Really?
Can't put them in a cage. On Shabbat cannot, right?
No, you cage no problem.
Why? What's wrong?
Cage no problem.
Собаку в шаббат трогать нельзя.
Wait,
Не
so
трогать, Нерия, не трогать. Поднимать. Большая разница.
you could touch your dog, that's not true.
Гулять, да. Да. If you are not picking him up, no problem. Right, no problem. Because there's a roof over here.
Can you pet him?
In our place there is a roof. Huh?
Can you
You
pet
can pet, touch, everything, but not pick up.
What if he's tied into a leash, into something, then you can pick him up, huh?
What?
Touch to the ground.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You want to uproot the Yisur Muksa based on this law? I'm not sure if it goes that far. Maybe yes. I'm not sure. If you remember, we had an issue with this attached to the ground. With the Gemara that says if you are attaching a branch of grapes to the bucket, remember we said over there it's not allowed to. So it's attached to the ground. Then we said that because it's attached to the ground on Muktzeh Muhammad Gufo, which is a high level Muktzeh, we don't use that leniency. We only use the leniency for the light switch. Remember? Light switch is Kli Shem Lachtor Yisu, which is a lower level Muktzeh. So then attached to the ground, uprooting that issue. That's why if the timer turned off the light, the timer, and it's supposed to turn on again soon, and you don't want to turn it on because you decided to go to your in-laws, so you don't want the electricity to go on for no reason, says Rabbi Yosef, you're allowed to put the switch down.
Digital.
Not digital. Manual switch to put it down. Why? You're moving muktzeh. This switch is muktzeh. Yeah, but it's off. By me putting it down, I'm not doing anything. It's been off and it remains off. Yeah, but you're moving muktzeh. It was here, and now you're putting the switch down to put it down here. How is this allowed? You're moving the muktzeh. It says Rabbi, it's attached to the ground. Something that is attached to the ground and muktzeh. So he wants to say, Igor is asking Rabbi, if so, if I'll attach the leash of the dog to the ground,
Can I pick up
so now I can pick up the dog because I touched the ground. No muktzeh.
not the dog?
But the answer, it's a good point. But the answer to this question is because the dog is not on the same level of muktzeh of the switch, is on a stricter level. Therefore, I would not think that it's comparable to the switch. Petting allowed.
Catch motion.
Yeah, it's your dog. It's being caught. It's talui becha anyway, dependent on you. Understand? There is no such an issue of catching it.
So beyond picking up the dog, what other problems do you have with the dog on Shabbat?
If there is no rule walking him, probably this.
I'm saying, like, let's say you're.
Oh, and another issue with the dogs, big issue, I'm sorry to tell you this, big issue, is to pick up his number 2
On Shabbat.
on Shabbat.
Oh, you cannot?
It's a problem.
How come?
So make him walk in your backyard or something like that. Don't beg on the street
No,
because.
they don't do it like that.
But then the Chilul Hashem, then a lot of other things
Yeah.
about.
So now you need leniencies, you know how to do it, but generally speaking, it's a problem
How come, Rabbi?
because it's not no purpose for that. What is number 2 good for?
No, I mean,
No, what are you picking up for?
clean the
For you,
street.
it's 100% not usable.
Keep
You're gonna throw it out. So it's like the wrapper of the candy. So the boss can say, okay, what about nesty? We said if I sit on the table and there's muktzeh, but it's nesty muktzeh, like the diaper, I'm allowed to pick it up. So to this,
What
so it's
about-
not comparable. Because the diaper, we're only allowed to pick it up in places you sit, you settle the whole Shabbat there, you're going to enjoy the Shabbat, now it's bothering me, I can't enjoy Shabbat. But whenever it's outside, you don't have to sit outside. And not only you don't have to, you're not planning on sitting outside.
But if the
Next
dog
to
did it
this.
inside, let's say the
dog did it accidentally inside.
Yeah, inside is allowed to clean. Outside will be an issue. Some say, as they say, it's Chilul Hashem. Others say big fine for that. So, איך אומרים? There is what to talk, but it's not straight.
Можно с евреев собаку в доме держать или нет?
I just said it to him. בכל הכבוד.
сказал.
Правильно? Нет.
I said inside the house is not recommended. Нежелательно.
How come?
Но если он заболеет на улице, нельзя ему дать страдать. Это цар בעלי חיים.
Застрелить можно его?
Yeah, if there is a need, yes. Like this dog, like this guy asked me, he said, Rabbi, I'm going to kill him for him biting my hand. I said, I know you're upset. He bite your hand. It's very painful. You have to go to the hospital. They want not this dog. Stitches, сильно задел. I said, I told him, I know you're upset. If you want to kill him, you can kill him. But don't do it out of anger. So why? I said, because you're going to develop a bad character trait in you. Характер твой станет очень жестокий. Don't do it out of hate. Do it to save other people because you care about the safety of other people. But to kill him? For what reason?
Old.
Уже все, ноги не работают.
No. They're sick, they're dangerous. They're sick, they can distribute sickness. There is no reason to keep them alive. They don't get kapara for suffering when they're sick, like people do. When people are old and they suffer before they're dead, they get kapara for those sufferings. But the dogs doesn't get anything out of it. It's just distributing sicknesses.
You're not considered a murderer?
No.
You make his life
It's like you are killing a cockroach. If it's not improving the world, there's no point to keep it. That's only for animals, not for people. Don't get Hitler ideas. No, he's not benefiting the society, so we'll just kill him. Not allowed to. No, that was his. He was thinking I'm doing the right thing. But God has different cheshbonot. If God sent him like this to this world, He wants him to go through a certain tikkun. Cannot mess around with God's decisions and kill people. Okay, we are on page. We are number 6.
Nobody's involved.
Did we finish number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 6. If we have bones that are not edible, even for animals, what's the opinion of Rashi? Rashi says it's allowed to carry any size of these bones. Number 7, is there a custom in Israel that allows one to move bones that are not edible for dogs? Some say the minhag is like Rashi. Therefore, if there is a thick bone, if it is not edible for dogs, it can be moved. However, the minhag in Israel is that it is muktzeh. Bechor, what if a person has a big bone? He ate osh pocha, or he put it on the osvo. He made pocha inside the osvo. The bones are very big. Он весь сделал баколь миколь коль, почистил его и put it on the table.
Shabbat?
Shabbat.
Можно двигать.
Can he move it out or no?
Yes.
No.
Why?
Because this bone, even the dog cannot eat. It's too hard. It's too strong. Which bones you allowed to put on the table and then move it because the dog will eat it? The chicken bones, the fish bones that they are soft, they're small. But this, davang, etat.
What if you leave some of the sauce on it?
If the dog will eat the inside, then it's not muktzeh. We're talking whenever it's such a big thing, the dog will not do anything with this. Somebody told me, I'm not sure if it's true, that even big bone the dog will not eat, but they will lick on it, suck on it. It's true or no?
Yeah. No,
So if they'll eat on it, lick on it, sorry, or suck on it, so then it's allowed.
How do we know that?
They're
Huh?
not big dogs, though.
If the dog will leave it or not.
Косточки в особо не ложим.
So, если вы поставили, кого-то прибыли, can you have that osovo? Yes. What about the bones? In order not to get into an argument by halakha, put it right away inside the garbage or inside the kosa. That there's all the garbage over there, the garbage kosa. That's
Rabbi,
John Halos without issues.
the bones, kuz dayut,
Bones there.
so that's usable.
It's usable when you had them. Now it's not usable anymore.
But if you potentially, if you put it back, it's gonna still give you juice.
But nobody puts it back. After a person licked on it, nobody's going to put it back on the pot.
But could be.
No, it cannot be. Nobody's going to do it.
You cannot use this. I'm saying it at the.
Right? No, you can't. No. Because people will never do it. If right now your guest licked on this bone, put it on the table, you're never in the world going to put it back in the pot.
I know, but I'm saying, can you use this idea?
No, it's not an idea. It's a fantasy. It's not idea. It doesn't exist.
So it's mukti.
It's mukti.
I have a question. If on Shabbat have the wrapper, and it's on the table.
Here, this sushi wrapper right now. Here. You right now open the wrapper, Nachon? This, give it to us for the video. Here. This. After you opened it, people reuse it or no? Look. Huh? People reuse it? No.
You could use it to clean between the teeth.
If I wanna use it-
You do it?
Sometimes if I have to.
Rabbi, if I wanna
Okay,
use-
if you do it, yeah, but most people don't do such a thing.
no, if I use it as a book.
Yaakov, this one after you open, вот этот wrapper, поставил на стол. What is that?
Мукти.
Muktzah.
I give good idea. Bookmark.
Who uses this as a bookmark? When did you see this happening?
Well, let's say that's
We got
Shabbat.
5 minutes, you know.
That's Shabbat.
Nobody
you wanna
uses
use it. Can I use it or no, Rabbi? If I'm reading something, I'm like, oh, I need a bookmark. Can I use this?
Everyone's
Oh,
trying to be a little.
now, David is trying to be creative,
But then make it
which
two.
is good. It's important to be creative in halakha. But when do we say you can take something that it's not usable, turn it into a usable? When you designated this before Shabbat came in, you said, I want to use this as a bookmark. But whenever on Shabbat it's not usable, and now you say, listen, I could use it. For what? As a bookmark. So you're redesignating it on Shabbat. When Shabbat came in, what was it? It was muktzeh. You redesignate it on Shabbat will not count. Got it? When could you redesignate things? Whenever they meant for one thing. Let's say you have no sushi and you hate sushi. Is this stick muktzeh for you? You have no purpose for it.
You can eat other
You
things.
don't eat sushi. You don't have sushi. You hate sushi. Is this stick muktzeh for you?
Yes.
No.
You
Why?
can't be shot chad.
I could redesignate it for scratch my back with this, mix chai with this, do other things with this.
Saying I can't have two.
But which says you cannot redesignate on Shabbat. That's when you have a garbage that you want to redesignate to a keli, to give him a purpose. But something had a purpose. Just you don't like the purpose people use it for. It's not good for you.
Okay.
I want to redesignate the purpose of it for something else. Am I allowed or no? Yeah. Why? Because it had a purpose. Let's say a person has a chair that the cushion is already finished. The only thing he will use the chair for is as a ladder to get up on to the books, to the high books. Now, a lot of guests came to his house. He has nowhere to place the God guest. Can he make that guest sit on the chair? Or a child, or whatever it is. Can he? Well, you redesignated a chair. This chair was a ladder for you. The whole last few months it was used as a ladder in the house. But now you're making a child sit over there. Now you made the chair. What's the answer? It has a usage. All I'm doing is I'm alternating the usage for something else. That's not a problem. Problem is whenever he has no usage, and you want to give to it usage on Shabbat. That's not allowed. Got it? Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hanania.